Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/surviving infidelity, where OP's wife did some truly unforgivable things. Let's begin. My cheating wife acts like nothing has happened, and it drives me crazy. Posted by Reddit user Speedgum.
I guess it's my turn to share a heartbreaking story that happened to me recently. Please forgive me for grammar. I am not a native speaker by any means. However, I'll try my best. The marriage. We were a great family with 2 lovely kids for 10 wonderful years. As any marriage on the planet, we had our ups and downs. We went through thick and thin like lack of money. No vacations for a long time. We worked a lot, but still we loved and valued each other and were good friends to each other. We had plans, we had dreams, we wanted to get old together. We now have great well-paying jobs. We can have everything we want. We can go everywhere we want. All those bad times and lack of something is far behind. I loved my beautiful wife so much. I appreciated every moment we spent together, any memory, any kiss, hug, her smile, the way she looked at me. I have been thankful to God for giving me such a great person by my side. I believe she loved me too until something has broken. Our kids are the best that ever happened to our family. I love them more than anything. My wife loves them more than anything, and they know it. They feel that they have best parents in the whole universe. The story. Back in February 2022, a full-scale war started in our country. We were scared. We were stressed. Our city was under constant missile attacks, and we took a quick decision to move into the western part of the country for our safety. Few weeks later, the situation started to escalate, and my wife's good female friend told us that there is an apartment waiting for them in Europe, so they can stay there and wait until this over. We didn't have much time to think under such extreme circumstances, so I bought a ticket for a bus, put my wife, kids, and mother-in-law there, and they fled to Europe. Unfortunately, men in our country are not allowed to cross the borders due to martial law, so I had to stay in home country. A month later, I returned back to my city, where my parents stay. They refused to leave their house and told us to save the kids no matter what back in those hot days. I felt tired all the time. I felt dizzy, exhausted. I visited doctors many times, and all they said was that this is war. Everybody is tired. Everybody is exhausted. You work so much. Your family is far away, so you miss them and feel stressed. Here, take these pills. Try to relax and live your life. They were right to some extent until that scary day in August 2022, when I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. It was found by accident during another visit to another doctor. I was devastated. I was depressed. Everything stopped. I've reached the bottom, the darkness, the emptiness. I cried a lot. Cried only a few times in my life. My wife cried with me. Everybody was shocked and confused. Anyway, thanks to my wife and the support of my family circle, I've found some inner strength and started to prepare for surgery. Thyroid cancer in my particular case required the removal of all sections of thyroid gland. The treatment in my case was successful, but I have to change my lifestyle to the core. Less stress, more rest, and healthy stuff. The first few months after the surgery in late August 2022 were pretty tough. First, it was a wound on my neck that hurts as hell and I barely can eat or swallow. Second, it was my depression that has been waiting for me around the corner. The enormous hormones level and overall loneliness made me feel depressed and vulnerable. I've started to lose ground. I've been missing my wife and my kids even more. You may ask, did they have a possibility to visit you? Yes, they did, and my wife came to me in September 2022 for a few weeks to take care of me. Once she left, I felt completely broken, like this is my life now. The war, the distance between us, how long I should take those punches. Eventually, I put my shit together and went to therapy. It was tough at the beginning, but now I started to return back to my previous life. Still, there is so much things to work on, but I smile again and even can see my future with my beautiful family. But in December 2022, it all started to fall apart. My family currently lives in some sort of social apartment with other refugees from our country, mostly women and kids. She knows most of them very well because all of them came from her home city, and most of them are connected with the same people who invited my wife. So fast forward, when the winter came, my wife started to become distant and cold. She became close with most of the young women at that place, and they started partying here and there, bars, cafes, restaurants. I know that she doesn't get along very well with her mother. They often have fights about every tiny thing. Her mother also didn't like her parties. Sometimes she was very abusive and controlling, saying that she must stay at home with her kids, and even though she was right to some extent, I didn't want to keep my wife inside the cage, and I've always tried to protect her against her mom. She is a very emotional person, and I thought that her mental state is related to the atmosphere in their house, and that's why she needed hangouts sometimes. In the meantime, I had a feeling that my wife stopped to care about me anymore. She asked how I feel less and less. She rarely told me back that she loves me. When I lost my patience, I started to ask pretty direct questions like, is everything okay between us? Do you still care for me? Do you miss me? The answers were always positive. Of course I miss you. I care for you. Everything is fine. I'm just tired. In the same time, she told with me that I've become an alarmist, that she's too tired and can't give me and her mother what we want from her. But all I've been asking is her attention, as she had so many excuses why she can't provide it. I was scared. This is not my wife anymore. I felt guilty all the time because I became alarmist and contribute to overall pressure that my wife is experiencing, so I stepped down. The affair. A few months later, my oncologist told me that I have a chance to make documents which may allow me to cross the border. This is it, my exact thoughts. I can finally visit my family. I can kiss my wife. I can hug my kids. I can take them to the seacoast. I can do everything. The closer to my documents' readiness, the more distant my wife became. No matter what I've asked, it was always fine, and I have nothing to worry about, and finally in May 2023 I am here. My kids are crying and smiling. They are happy as well as my wife, but something is not there. She didn't even cook any dinner, just a bunch of dirty dishes and mess around the house. Our first night and no sex. Like, what the fuck? You didn't see me for almost a year. Those 3 weeks in September 2022 doesn't count, and you don't want any intimacy. I've tried to initiate something, but she felt tired and wanted to sleep. 1 week passed and we hardly had one time. No kisses, no holding hands, no hugs. I've sat with her and started a conversation if everything is fine between you and me. And you guess what? Everything is fine, honey. I just waited for so long that I am not so sex addicted anymore. But it's not about you. We are good. I just tired, and I also need some space. My suspicions started to grow exponentially. Yes, we had tough times in our marriage when we were so tired that we had sex a few times in a month. But for fuck's sake, the year and space. A few days later, I noticed some stranger's message on her phone. But I didn't saw the context as the screen was locked. She told me then that this is one of her new bosses. I was a bit worried, and the next day found that this new boss liked her photos in social media. I immediately started another conversation about her feelings and who is that guy is, and she told me that she doesn't know what she feels for me and that guy is just a friend. I was ruined, but tried to stay calm. I understand we've been separated by distance for some time. I agree that it was hard for both of us, so I decided to give her some time and space, even though I wasn't a fan of that decision. So, I've been nervous all the time, but as I mentioned, I decided to take my family to the seacoast and try to relax. We spent a great week together. We talked so much, we drank so much, we had sex, we kissed, everything was fine. And finally, the regular night with the girls, I wanted to sleep but I can't. I opened that piece of shit's page and here we are. He is checked in at the same place where my wife and other girls was partying. I approached her laptop. We don't have a secrets, so I had Touch ID in there. Opened a few messengers and found nudes, sexting, texting, I love you, I miss you with another guy, from that so-called boss of a company. I felt down. My heart was broken. I ran away from that home and met her in the night. She saw my eyes. She understand that I know. It was hard. I was hurt. Yes, she confessed, but only after I caught her. She thought she deleted everything. I spent a few more weeks with my kids and her. I was so shocked that I tried to put all the blame on me. I was looking for some reasonable explanations. We slept in one bed. We had sex all that time and I tried to get her back, but she was stone cold. Their affair was a few months long, so while I was getting all documents, she started a new life behind my back. After I came back to my home country, I've started to analyze the situation. I tried to have a conversation with her, but she just asked for more time to figure it out. I suggested to go to marriage counseling twice, but she just ignored that like I never said it. It was her choice. It was her decision to ruin everything. I lost her forever. I lost myself. She betrayed me while I was battling cancer and needed her the most. I am devastated. I am ruined. I feel unworthy, miserable human being. She tried to put the blame on me for her adultery, but instead I confronted her and told her to shut up. Why on earth do you never talk to me about your feelings? I never saw that coming. I've been thinking that we are finally happy and can relax after chasing our dreams for so many years. If she ever told me that she is unhappy, I would have fixed everything or at least tried to fix it, and she was dead silent. I believe things like this never happens within one day. I just don't get why she never openly communicated her feelings and needs to me. Last summer I've got a paper letter from her where she expressed how she loves me and miss me and that she counts the days when we can be together. I am going through our text messages every night, and I swear I can't believe it was all her lies. I am trying hard to start a healing process now, but seeing her every time I see these disgusting texts between her and him, these photos she never sent me, these love words she told him and me every single day of her affair. I can't believe how someone who promised me to go through all this nightmare together 6 months ago can betray you so hard. She won't even try to talk about reasons for why and how it happened. She is not remorseful. I only talk to my brilliant kids and think about filing a divorce soon. I am just so afraid that they may think that Daddy betrayed them and ruined our family. I am not looking for any advices. I don't know why I am here. I am completely lost and just cried my eyes out. Her betrayal hurts as hell, as well as thoughts about my cancer which may return if I'll surrender. Thank you for reading until the very end. I am trying to stay strong for myself and my kids and not let the cancer beat me again. Now for OP's first update. Long story short, my wife cheated on me while she was abroad with kids and I was battling cancer in our home country. I posted a full story here recently, but the title says it all. We are living in different countries now due to war and I have calls with my beautiful kids daily. What bothers me the most is that how my wife acts like nothing has happened. It is 3 months past since I discovered her affair with some random guy and we still didn't have any conversation on what the hell is going on. She talks to me like we are good friends. She complains about some random stuff I don't really care about. She shares the photos of our kids to both grandmas. They still don't know. She talks about her upcoming vacation with kids. I shared my plans to be at my son's birthday and she asked me if I am going to celebrate the new year with them because she was thinking that I will. I feel so awkward and disrespected. It's like her affair means nothing to her and my feelings mean nothing. I've been sleeping for a few hours every night since the D-Day and she asked me why I feel so tired. She is like an alien, like some other person I don't know, and it hurts like hell. She looks happy without me, like I was some dead weight. I feel like shit and can't move on no matter what I've tried. And now for OP's second update. Hey folks, I must admit that I was fooled and manipulated, and as some of you commented in my previous post, the affair still goes on. Long story short, my son called me yesterday and while we've been talking, my 2-year-old daughter came into his room showing that her diaper is full. I asked my son to call mom to change the diaper and he told me that she's out and will be at home in 2 hours. My first thought was that she just went to her affair partner and I've sent her a message that our little sweetheart might have shit in her pants. She read my message but didn't reply, but once she came home I called her and confronted about situation. She lied to me that the affair is over all the time. She didn't say a word while I was talking to her. She just told me that she doesn't want to have this conversation now and that she is not obligated to explain this situation to me. My fucking god. She left 2 small kids at home to fuck around with that guy. How could this be the woman I married 10 years ago? So my initial plan has changed and I am going full no contact except my kids. I don't need that closure conversation anymore. I am finally going to tell about her affair to our families and friends. I don't want to play those mindfuckery games and being manipulated. If she doesn't respect me and my feelings, then I shouldn't respect and protect her. Rant over.
OP, document all of this, and the next time she leaves the children all alone, call the authorities to go check on them. They can be used as a witness later if needed. It is now time to involve lawyers, my friend. Follow their advice. And you are correct. You had been fooled and manipulated. But the shit show must end now for the sake of your children. Expose her affair to everyone and try to get full custody plus child support. It is clear that she cannot be trusted to care for your children properly. Good luck to you, OP, and I'll be looking out for your next update. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.